So Ukraine's war is now headed to a critical make-or-break point. Volodymyr Zelensky, once defiant against any territorial loss, has now said that he's ready for discussion on the US peace plan. But Washington is warning Kyiv, agree to the peace plan by Thursday next week or lose all American support. Moscow too is doubling down, saying that negotiate now or lose more territory. Take a look at this report.
A dramatic turn in the Ukraine war has stunned world capitals. A president cornered, allies losing patience, and a battlefield tilting in favor of Moscow. The big question, has Zelensky effectively surrendered to Trump's peace plan, and will Putin accept it? The trigger was brutal. Washington says the US wants Ukraine to sign a framework agreement by next Thursday, or face an immediate cut in intelligence sharing and weapon supplies. The message is clear: sign or fight alone, something Ukraine can't do. At the same time, Russian forces claim to have taken Kupiansk, a strategic town in the northeast. Moscow is celebrating, Kyiv in denial. The tide is changing rapidly in favor of Putin. Zelensky is clinging on to hope.
A dignified peace, so that the conditions are with respect for our independence, our sovereignty, and the dignity of the Ukrainian people. And we must ensure these very conditions.
Europe, on the other hand, is shocked on being left out again from the most crucial discussion. It is urging Trump to keep it on board.
As you said, yesterday a 28-point plan was made public. We will discuss the situation both with European leaders and with leaders here in the sidelines of the G20. I will also reach out to President Zelensky to discuss the matter.
As Washington issues a 6-day deadline, Moscow's blunt warning: negotiate now or lose more territory. Kremlin insiders say that Putin believes Ukraine is at its weakest point since the war began, and the battlefield maps seem to agree. Under Trump's proposed deal, Russia would be welcomed back into the G7. Ukraine would be blocked from hosting NATO troops and forced to reduce its military by 50%. In exchange, Kyiv would receive a NATO-style security guarantee, a promise Washington says will act as a deterrent, not an invitation for escalation. European officials have slammed the plan as nothing short of surrender. But the world is waiting for one final piece. Will Putin take the deal or push harder while Ukraine struggles? Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
And I earlier spoke with Mr. Maximilian Hess, who is a Central Asia Fellow at the FPRI and the author of The Economic War, Ukraine and the Global Conflict Between Russia and the West. And this is what he had to say.
What I think this is once again going around the circle of fighting within the Trump administration, where Donald Trump himself is clearly seeking to end U.S. involvement in this on terms that he thinks are advantageous to him personally and his own interests. That being said, I don't think that this latest demand and ultimatum is necessarily any different from the reports that we saw back in April or that we saw in August at the time of the the Putin-Trump summit in Alaska again. The reasons for that are twofold. One, this proposal includes a number of things that violate both Ukraine and Europe's red lines. Europe is now far and away the primary funder of the Ukrainian defense effort, and the one that has the potential to unlock more funding with the frozen assets of Russia's that sit primarily in Europe, over 220 billion of the estimated 300 billion in Belgium alone. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, is that Russia itself is not necessarily willing to agree to these terms. It is true that there have been notable battlefield losses for the Ukrainian side in recent weeks, and Putin will look to press his advantage.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.